It took me 40 years to learn what I'm about to tell you in 10 minutes. An old man sits in his worn leather chair, the afternoon sun filtering through dusty window panes. His weathered hands rest on his knees as he looks directly at you with eyes that have seen 8.5 decades of life. Listen here. I'm 85 years old now, and if there's one thing I've learned in all these years, it's that most of us spend half our lives chasing the wrong things before we finally wake up. I wasted 40 years, 40 precious years, learning lessons that were right in front of me the whole time. And now, sitting here in what might be the final chapter of my life, I want to save you from making the same mistakes I did. Before I begin, if this resonates with you, if even one sentence changes how you see your life, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. Not for me, but because these words might find someone who desperately needs to hear them. Someone who's where I was at 30, at 40, at 50, wasting their days on things that don't matter. Now, let me tell you what really does. The first thing I learned far too late, the people who love you won't be here forever, and you're wasting time pretending they will be. My father died when I was 47. For 20 years before that, I'd been too busy to visit him regularly. Too busy building my career. Too busy with my own family. Too busy with 1,000 things that seemed important at the time but that I can't even remember now. I remember the last conversation we had before his stroke. He called me on a Tuesday evening, just wanting to talk. I was in the middle of watching some television show, some program I can't even recall the name of now, and I told him I'd call him back. I never did. 3 days later, he was gone. I stood at his funeral, my hand on his casket, and I would have given everything I owned, my house, my car, every dollar in my bank account for just 5 more minutes. 5 minutes to tell him I loved him. 5 minutes to say thank you. 5 minutes to actually listen instead of being too busy. You think you have time. That's the great lie we all tell ourselves. I'll visit next month. I'll call this weekend. We'll have that conversation later. But later has a nasty habit of becoming never. The people you love are here right now, in this moment, and this moment is all we ever truly have. My wife Eleanor, God rest her soul, she passed 6 years ago. We had 52 years together. You know what I regret? Not the arguments. Not the tough times. I regret every evening I came home from work and sat with a newspaper instead of sitting with her. I regret every time she asked me to dance in the kitchen and I said I was too tired. I regret treating tomorrow like it was guaranteed. If there's someone in your life you love, stop reading this right now and go tell them. Call them. Visit them. Because I promise you, there will come a day when you give anything to have them back, and all you'll have left are regrets about the time you wasted. The second lesson that took me decades to understand, your job will replace you in a week, but your children will miss you for a lifetime. I was a good worker. No, I was a great worker. I spent 35 years at the same company, working my way up from the warehouse floor to regional manager. I was proud of that. I worked 60-hour weeks. I missed birthdays, school plays, baseball games. When my daughter Jessica had the lead role in her high school musical, I was in Chicago for a conference that probably accomplished nothing I can remember now. My son Thomas once told me, years later when he was already a grown man with kids of his own, that he used to sit by the window on Friday evenings waiting for my car to pull into the driveway. He'd wait for hours sometimes, and I'd come home long after he'd fallen asleep. He said he stopped waiting when he turned 12. Just stopped. Gave up on me being there. Those words broke something in me that can never be fixed. You want to know the cruelest joke? I got laid off at 62. All those years of loyalty, all those sacrifices, all those moments I missed with my family, the company replaced me in less than 2 weeks. Brought in some younger guy who probably did the job just as well as I did, maybe better. The world kept spinning. The business kept running. But my daughter, she got married without me walking her down the aisle. Not because I was dead, but because by the time she was 28, we barely knew each other. I was a stranger who happened to be her father. I'd missed so much of her life that she didn't want me there for that moment. And I don't blame her. I really don't. Your job is important. I'm not saying it isn't. But it's not more important than watching your child learn to ride a bike, or helping them with their homework, or just being there when they need you. The company will survive without you working late. Your presentation can wait. Your emails can wait. But your child's childhood won't wait. It happens once, And when it's gone forever. The third truth I wish I'd known. Happiness isn't waiting at the finish line of your next achievement. It's in the ordinary moments you're ignoring right now. For most of my life, I lived in the future. I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll relax when I pay off the house. I'll enjoy life when I retire. I spent 50 years climbing a ladder, and when I finally got to the top, I realized it was leaning against the wrong wall. The happiest moments of my life weren't the big achievements. They weren't getting promoted or buying my first house or any of the things I thought would make me happy. The happiest moments were small, tiny, easy to miss if you're not paying attention. It was Saturday mornings when my kids were little, making pancakes together and getting flour everywhere. It was holding Eleanor's hand while we took walks around a neighborhood on summer evenings. It was my grandson teaching me how to use a computer when I was 72, both of us laughing at how confused I was by the mouse. These moments cost nothing. They required nothing but presence, true presence. Not being physically there while your mind is somewhere else. Not half listening while you scroll through your phone, but actually being there in that moment with the people you love. We've built a world that tells us happiness is something to achieve, something to buy, something that exists somewhere other than where we are right now. But I'm here to tell you, after 85 years on this earth, that happiness is in the morning coffee you drink slowly instead of gulping down on your way out the door. It's in the conversation with your neighbor you actually stop to have instead of rushing past. It's in the sunset you take 30 seconds to watch instead of walking by with your head down. Stop waiting for your life to begin. Stop waiting for retirement or the weekend or for conditions to be perfect. This moment right now is your life. This is it. And it's slipping through your fingers while you're planning for some future that might never come. The fourth lesson that haunts me: the grudges you hold and the forgiveness you withhold will poison your life far more than they'll ever hurt anyone else. I didn't speak to my brother for 11 years. 11 years. Over what? A disagreement about our mother's estate. Money. A few $1,000s that seemed so important at the time that I was willing to cut off my own flesh and blood. He died of a heart attack at 68. I got the call from his wife, and I remember standing there with a phone in my hand, thinking about all those wasted years, all those holidays we spent apart, all those moments we could have shared. Gone. Erased. Over something so petty I can barely stand to think about it now. Pride is expensive. The price is measured in lost relationships, missed opportunities, and a lifetime of what-ifs. Every grudge you hold is a weight you carry, and I carried that weight for 11 years. It didn't hurt him. He moved on with his life. It hurt me. It ate at me. It robbed me of a brother when I could have had one. Forgiveness isn't about them. It never was. It's about you. It's about releasing yourself from the prison of anger and resentment. Some of you are holding on to something right now: betrayal, a hurt, an injustice. You think you're punishing the other person by not forgiving them. But you're not. You're only punishing yourself. Life is too short to spend it angry. I know that sounds like a greeting card, but it's true. The years go by so fast, faster than you can possibly imagine when you're young. And when you're old like me, looking back, you realize that most of the things you were angry about weren't worth the energy you spent on them. If there's someone you need to forgive, do it today. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. And finally, the most important lesson of all: you have less time than you think, and you're not going to get a warning before it runs out. I'm 85 now. I've been lucky. I've lived longer than most. But even with all these years, it feels like it went by in a blink. Just yesterday, I was 25, invincible, with my whole life ahead of me. Now I'm here, looking at the end, wondering where it all went. You think you're different. You think you have time. When you're young, death seems like a distant concept, something that happens to other people, to old people. But let me tell you something, I still feel 25 in my head. I look in the mirror and I'm shocked by the old man staring back at me. Inside, I'm still that young person who thought they had forever. You don't have forever. Nobody does. Every day you waste being angry, being afraid, being too busy, being too proud. That's a day you'll never get back. Every moment you spend on things that don't matter is a moment stolen from the things that do. So here's what I'm telling you, with whatever wisdom these 85 years have given me. Love the people in your life while they're here. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Call your parents. Hug your children. Tell your spouse you love them, not just with words, but with your time, your attention, your presence. Choose your family over your career when it matters. Work to live, don't live to work. No one ever lay on their deathbed wishing they'd spent more time at the office. Find happiness in the ordinary. The big moments are wonderful, but they're rare. The ordinary moments, that's where life actually happens. Don't miss them waiting for something better. Let go of your anger. Forgive, not because people deserve it, but because you deserve to be free from the weight of carrying that resentment. And above all, live now. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Not when things are easier or better or different. No, because now is all you're guaranteed. I'm an 85-year-old man sitting in a chair, sharing what it took me 40 years to learn. I can't get those years back. But you still have yours ahead of you. Don't make my mistakes. Don't waste your time on things that won't matter when you're sitting in your own chair at 85, looking back. If these words meant something to you, if they changed something in how you see your life, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because somewhere out there, someone is making the same mistakes I made, and maybe, just maybe, we can help them see the truth before it's too late. Now stop watching videos and go live your life. The people you love are waiting. The old man nods slowly, a slight smile on his weathered face, and the sunlight fades as the afternoon grows long.